Everything you've been told about the Stone Age is a lie. Before the pyramids, before the empires of Rome, and before the first word was ever written in our history books, there was a world that would make our modern age look like a playground. A world of giants, a world of biological gods, a world so dark, so violent, and so advanced that the creator of the universe had only one choice: to burn it all down. You think you know the story of Noah? You don't. You know the sanitized version. Today, we're opening the black box of human history. We're going back to the era of the Nephilim, the world that was so terrifying, God had to wipe the hard drive of the earth just to save the soul of humanity. Don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll realize that the water didn't just wash away their bodies, it hid their secrets.
The Lord has abandoned us.
It is the end! Flee to the mountains!
The waters rise quickly now.
It is the great judgment!
Gather the children, flee to the high places.
And those secrets, they're starting to resurface. Imagine living for 1,000 years. In the world that was, your 100th birthday was your childhood. Your 500th year was your prime. But here is the horror Hollywood won't show you. If a man doesn't fear death, he doesn't fear God. Imagine a dictator with 900 years to perfect his torture. Imagine a scientist with 800 years to manipulate the genetic code. Without the reset button of death, evil didn't just grow, it compounded. It became an institution. These weren't cavemen. They were masters of a lost science. They didn't build with wheels and pulleys. They built with the vibration of the earth. They didn't just live on the planet, they enslaved it. By the time Noah was born, the atmosphere was thick with the stench of a civilization that had forgotten how to bleed, and therefore forgot how to feel. Then came the Watchers. The ancient texts don't call them aliens, but they weren't from here. They broke the ultimate quarantine. They crossed the line between the divine and the flesh. The result? The Nephilim.
Know your place, mortals. I am the law of this age.
These weren't just big guys. They were biological anomalies. They were men of renown. The celebrities, the kings, the tyrants. They were beautiful, they were brilliant, and they were purely 100% predatory. They didn't just rule humans, they consumed them. Ancient traditions suggest they began to sin against the birds, the beasts, and the reptiles. They were playing with the DNA of the world. They were creating monsters because they were bored. The earth began to groan. The ground was soaked in so much innocent blood that the soil itself began to cry out for justice. And in the heavens, the judge finally stood up. Thud. 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 Noah wasn't building a boat.
The storm is almost upon us. Work faster.
He was
Secure
building
the
a
lower
survival
deck
pod
immediately.
for a planetary execution. Can you hear the laughter of the Nephilim?
This flimsy ark cannot save you. The waters will consume you all. Look at him down there, building his little boat. The old fool.
They looked down from their high towers, sipping wine that was older than Noah's grandfather, and they laughed at the preacher of
The
righteousness.
sky is blue, old man. The stars are silent. Our walls are made of iron and spirit. What is your God going to do? Splash us?
Noah didn't argue. He just kept hammering
Blood will take you
because he
first,
knew
old
something
man.
they didn't.
Noah knew that God's mercy has a limit. And that limit was about to be reached.
It didn't start with a rain cloud. The Bible says the fountains of the great deep burst. The earth's crust literally snapped. Imagine the horror. One moment, you're in a marketplace in a city of gold. The next, the ground beneath your feet becomes a geyser of boiling, subterranean water.
It's cracking!
Run! The water is boiling!
The mountains began to melt. The oceans didn't just rise, they attacked. The Nephilim, for the first time in 1,000 years, felt something they had forgotten: terror. Their technology failed. Their gods abandoned them. They scrambled up the peaks of the highest mountains.
The waters are rising! We must climb higher! Hurry! It is almost upon us!
And as the water reached their throats, they looked out across the gray, churning abyss and saw it, the Ark. A dark, silent box floating on the graveyard of their world. The door was shut, and the only man they ever mocked was the only man who was safe. The world was washed clean. The giants were buried under billions of tons of sediment. But here is the twist that should keep you awake tonight. Jesus himself gave a warning about the end of our current age. He didn't compare it to the Middle Ages. He didn't compare it to the World Wars. He said, "As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the current age." Look around. Violence is our entertainment. Genetic manipulation is our new frontier. Arrogance is our religion. We are living in the sequel. We are walking the same path, building the same towers, and ignoring the same hammers. The world before the flood thought they had forever. They were wrong. History doesn't repeat itself. It rhymes. The water is gone, but the fire is coming. And the question isn't when. The question is, are you on the boat, or are you still laughing? If this story hit you differently, don't just scroll past. This is a side of history they don't want you to investigate. Like this video to help the truth reach more people. Subscribe to Everlight for the deep dives into the mysteries that define our existence. And tell me in the comments, do you think we are living in the days of Noah right now? Because the clouds are starting to gather. And this time, there won't be a second ark.